Hi, I'm Barry Watts. In most marriages, one person handles the money. Often the other person has no clue where anything is. Then the money person dies and the surviving spouse is left in the dark during the worst moment of their life. This is why we always require husbands and wives to visit our office together at WealthCare, particularly when they come in for their first visit, the peace of mind visit. Now, I understand that having the uninvolved spouse in the room doesn't automatically bring them up to speed. But here's what it does do. If the husband is the money person and then he dies, if the wife has been visiting our offices all along for our initial planning visits and our annual strategy and tactics visits, then when the husband dies, she's not left reaching out to people she doesn't know, in places she doesn't know and hasn't been. She doesn't know who to ask and what to ask. At the most vulnerable time in her life, she feels fear. Instead of that, she already knows kind of what to expect at the advisor's office. She knows where to find the office. She knows what's going to go down when she gets there. She knows what the vibe of the visit is and even the tone of the advisor's office and his or her personality. Hopefully, all of those things together make it easier for the non-money person to lay aside their fears, knowing the conversation will be comfortable and they don't have to be on guard. That's why we always require husbands and wives to visit together. Do we ever make an exception? Well, of course we do. One husband recently came by himself, telling me that the wife had suffered a stroke and was operating at the intellectual level of a third grader. That was a good reason for her not to participate. Another good reason was when a lady came to us and told us that she was planning on getting a divorce and needed to do her planning apart from her husband. But if someone simply says, "Oh, he's not really interested in those things. I handle all of it," that's not a good enough reason. What happens when you're suddenly no longer here to handle it? They need to at least have a base level of relationship with the advisor and some knowledge of who they are depending on for help when that time comes. That's today's retirement tip. I'm Barry Watts from WealthCare.